Since I last filmed in my journaling corner, it got a little makeover. As you can see, it is no longer minimalist and bare bones, and I'm actually really happy about that. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I will, of course, be adding more stuff to it as time goes on, but that's a topic for a separate video, and I think today we will just leave it at that. So, as promised, I'm making a flip through of my finished insert. This is the first time actually that I properly finished a passport size insert. Before this, I was journaling in just random notebooks, not traveler's notebook, not passport size. So to me, this felt really exciting and like a big deal that I actually finished volume one of my found poetry and collage journals. It has been almost exactly a year since I got it. It's a handmade insert created by Ana Jimenez. I bought this off Cafe Analog. It was a limited release. I don't know if there will be more. I hope so. But this has been an absolute joy to use. So, because this is a found poetry insert, I debated for a while whether I should read the poems out loud or whether I should just talk about something else in the background, and eventually I decided not to read them. Please feel free to pause and read them if you're interested. I will point out the ones that I did not write, the ones that are direct quotes from other writers and poets. But if any of you would like to actually hear me read the poems out loud, please leave a comment down below in the comment section, and I will maybe record a kind of alternative audio version for this video where you can switch it in the settings and then you can hear me just read the poems instead of rambling about all this stuff. So it's up to you guys. So let's actually talk about what this insert is, what it has been for me this past year. So I purchased it in December 2024, as I said, and for about a month it just sat in my drawer. I was too scared to use it because I didn't want to ruin it. It felt too precious somehow. But I actually started using it late December, early January. I decorated the cover when I was on holiday, and I also made my first collage back then. I actually have all that process recorded. It's one of my first videos, well, first available videos on this channel that are still up because I got rid of a lot of my old stuff. So if you're curious, you can head over and watch that. I'll try to put a little title card here in the corner if you want to just check it out. But I didn't have any specific plans for this insert when I was starting it, which is interesting looking back because obviously it has become this very particular place for my found poems. It's also interesting to me that back then I was very much thinking about the words as just a kind of visual part of the collage. And now I literally can't imagine my practice without it. Like, that's the central thing. And then everything else is just built around it. It's almost like the images are the background for the words. And the words are like the core of what makes up this journal. So, yeah, it's really cool to look back at how I thought about it when I started it and how I think about it now. It's very varied in terms of topics, as you can see if you're pausing to read the actual poems. It's yeah, I mean, I was going through a lot of stuff this year, so you can see that it was very much reflected in the pages of this journal. Though I will say that most of these spreads and words and pages are not about specific events that took place this year. They're more about feelings or something I was just ruminating about at the time. So in a way, it absolutely does reflect what I was going through, but it doesn't describe anything specific that happened this last year, which I think is really cool because for that other stuff, I, of course, have my little planner where I was just sticking all kinds of stuff from, packaging and receipts and all that day to day memorabilia. And then this journal is a reflection of the more ephemeral stuff that isn't just, what I did every day, where I went, and what happened. I think that's the magic of found poetry for me. It just allows me to document the feelings and the, I guess, intuitions and the more like memory related things that come up for me during the year, during the days, because it's obviously not what I would write if I sat down with pen and paper and had to do this more Dear Diary style of journaling, which is also very cool and valid. And I do it from time to time, but it's completely different from what happens when I find words that already exist and put them in new, unexpected arrangements. Let's put it that way. A lot of these spreads are also inspired by dreams, which is something that has been an interest of mine for some time now. Since the pandemic, I have been kind of obsessed with dreams, lucid dreaming, remembering my dreams, recording them. I have a whole spreadsheet of just like dream data for the past 4 or 5 years or so. I'm not as consistent as I used to be, but I think being able to recreate some of the images that I remember from my dreams has not replaced, but kind of added to my obsession with all things dreaming. Because an issue that I've always had with just writing my dreams down is the fact that I can't really capture the feeling of being there with just words. It's not the same. And being able to, of course, reinterpret, but in a way recreate the imagery from the dreams has been like a magical addition to my practice, both my dream recall practice and my journaling practice. I haven't talked about it on this channel before, which is really surprising to me because I wrote 2 dissertations about remembering your dreams. Like, I'm the type of person who will talk to you about lucid dreaming and being able to train yourself in remembering more dreams and all that stuff after a drink or two at a party, and you will not be able to escape it because I'm obsessed. That's what I'm trying to say. And this has been a really good outlet for that obsession. The other thing that I think has been a kind of characteristic of this specific journal is the fact that I've been experimenting with materials a little bit more. You can see that I have been adding a lot of pressed flowers, even some fabric, which I haven't done before. Of course, I've used a lot of newspapers, which are my absolute favorite. As you can see from probably all of my videos, I don't use a lot of stickers, as in I do like to use them, but I use them very sparingly. So you will never see a spread that is like entirely made up of things that are sold as stationery, which is something I talked about in my last video about journaling style. So like this spread is pretty much entirely made up of cutouts from museum flyers. These are actually from the exhibitions I properly went and saw, which kind of adds to the value of this, in my opinion. I have also been using my little thermal printer. My one is from Puli. It's the one that looks like a little bird. I'm sure you've seen it around on Instagram or YouTube or whatever. It has allowed me to print out some of the quotes that I absolutely would not have been able to recreate from like found words from newspapers and books. That has also been quite cool. I try not to rely on it too much because I think it takes away from the fun of it. But yeah, it has also been part of my practice for some time now. I have also been having a lot of fun with stamps. It's the same as stickers. I use them very, very sparingly. I don't normally stamp a lot, unless it's for texture, like with the little stars on this spread. That's a whole different issue, I think. But yeah, I do love my stamps, and sometimes I feel bad for them because I don't tend to use them as much as I would like because, again, I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to using pre-made stationery. Let's just call it that. But no, I try to balance out this desire that I have to use original quote unquote materials and also to just enjoy playing with stationery that I already have. And yeah, so that brings us to the last spread in this notebook. The words on the right in Russian say past tense or the time gone by, which is a play on words that gets lost in translation. That's the one thing that I would like to do a bit more of in 2026. I think I would like to try doing found poetry in other languages, maybe even German, since I have been learning it for, what, 8 months now. I feel like I'm ready. I think I can do this. Maybe it will be good language practice as well. But yeah, I would like to try using other languages aside from English, even though English I think is the easiest when it comes to trying to like compose something out of existing words because the endings don't change as much. You don't have cases. It's a very like vague language when you think about it, so it's perfect for stuff like this. But I would like to challenge myself a little bit more. After flipping through my journal, I decided to add a little archive sticker to the back since I wasn't going to do anything special with the back side of the cover. I decided to just use one of those Midori stickers that come with Midori notebooks. It's a shame that I only have one of these, and stupidly, I didn't scan it, so maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll find like an online photo of it and I'll just print that out for my next insert because I think it would be cool to have the same type of archive sticker on all of them, especially if I'm sticking with the passport format. I just added the title, which I think Found Poems is a perfect summary of what this journal has been to me this past year. I added my username, which I'm still very proud of, by the way, because for those of you who don't know, I actually do spell my name with two I's, hence Sophia with two I's. It's yeah, no, there's a 60-year-old man inside of me and he's constantly making dad jokes and it's horrible. So I'm just glad that I can entertain that in my online presence as well. I wasn't going to write anything else on the sticker, so instead of covering up that beautiful pressed flower in the paper sheet, I just cut out a little window and used it to frame the page that way. I think it turned out quite cool. I then also added some little figures. Again, I didn't want to do anything super special for the back of this notebook, but since I still had some of these stick figure washi tapes left over from last year, because I'm pretty sure I got these together with the notebook. They were part of the freebies that came with the Cafe Analog package. And since I already had these on the front cover, I thought it would be nice to kind of tie it all together. And yeah, that was that. It still feels crazy to me that I actually finished an insert. I am infamously bad at actually finishing notebooks. As in, I use up most of them, but then once I have a few pages left over in the back, I just abandon them and I can't explain it. It's really strange because normally I'm like really against, wasting space and wasting stationery and all that, but I have been so bad when it comes to finishing the notebooks. So this feels like a little victory to me, and I'm really glad that I got to share it here with you guys. I hope there will be many more of these to come because I have been really enjoying sharing stuff online, both on YouTube and on my Instagram. And the fact that lately there has been just a little bit more of you commenting and showing up to watch the videos has been such a huge motivation to me to keep going. And instead of just scrolling away in my evenings, I have been planning my next videos. So I hope you are excited as I am, for the upcoming stuff that I'll be sharing on this channel. Right as I finished filming, it started snowing. This was first snow this year, and I'm just really happy I got to share this moment with you. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram for more journal, collage, and found poetry related stuff. My next video might be a little different. I'm going to experiment with the video essay format a little bit, so I hope you stay tuned for that. And until then, I hope you have a lovely time in your journals. Bye bye.